Dr. Mandru, one of the another thing that is interview. So the impact of interview on the performance of the ranking process. That thing we also discussed today. So impact of the interview and the performance on the ranking process.
Is, let's say if it's a virtual platform, you have to make sure that you have the right camera, lighting, mic, audio system, and then followed along. You really have to be well groomed and well dressed. So for example, you should consider a plain shirt with a well colored, a blue or a black overcoat and a good tie, well groomed. You should be properly shaven. You should have your hair done. And you really have to understand the verbal, non-verbal communication forms. For example, when you have your interviewer, try to position the interviewer right under your camera. So when you have that positioned, obviously then you're talking to them and it's going to look good. But if you have your interviewer positioned in such a way that they're either to the side of the screen or this side of the screen, then you'll be looking towards them, and then it will look like as if you're not looking at the camera. So always remember, bring them to the front, bring them in front and right under the camera. So then you can actually be looking at them and talking to the camera too. So that is an important piece that you really have to keep in mind. Then the second thing is, please remember, use your hands. Consider having a communication like how you normally have with people. Say thank you. It's okay. I am so thankful for your opportunity that you have given me, and things like that. And have a smile. I mean, don't laugh, but at the same time, don't also be stoic. Uh, have a balance. And those are some important things that you should understand when you're on stage. Now, when you are in person, if you're being offered an interview and you go in person, please remember, interview is one of the biggest factors that is used to rank candidates. Once they have accepted you as an applicant, the next thing is they're looking to see if you match their intent or their objectives, and you match their workflows, you match their teams. That's what they're looking for. So when you go in person, please remember, you have to interact with everyone in a respectful way. Do not act, because if you act, it will be obvious afterwards. But I would encourage you to refine your skills and be respectful when you get there. Once you get there, prepare yourself for the interview. And one important thing that I would tell additionally is learn the names. If you have someone going by the name, Paswilko, now you really have to practice how they're being called or how that name is pronounced. Otherwise, it won't look as if you're coming prepared. I'm just giving you some examples that might help you shine out. Like, for example, let's say you come to my interview, or you come to one of my programs interview, and let's say I'm the interviewer, and I introduce myself saying, hey, I'm Dr. Dev Manuru. Now, in your application packet, you might have seen Devendranath Manuru. If you choose, you can call me anything you want, but I've already introduced myself saying, hey, I'm Dr. Dev Manuru. So when you reply back, if you would say, hi, Dr. Manuru, nice to meet you, I would feel validated that you're actually listening and you're actually talking after you've understood what I said. That's number one. Number two, listen. First, listen to the question and then answer. Don't just be ready to answer a question because you have an answer. No. Listen, take a few seconds, understand what they're trying to ask you, and then answer. That's the second most important thing during an interview. Now, for you to do all of these things, you really have to know about the program. And what should you know about the program? Look for the program's vision, mission, aims, objectives. Look at their curriculum. Look at their other activities that they offer. Look at their research and scholarly activities. Look at their well-being aspects. Check out where their residents are today. So know about the program, and then go into the interview. So those are some few important steps that I think you should consider before going to an interview. And one final thing on this question is avoid sarcasm, avoid politics, avoid unnecessary humor, and avoid alcohol and anything else that can impair your thinking. What I'm trying to say is, if you go for a pre-dinner, you don't have to indulge in heavy alcohol consumption. That's not necessary. If you are, going for an interview in the morning, Don't party out at night and then just go like that for an interview. You might as well not go for the interview. So these are some important things you really have to keep in mind. You might not think about them, but they matter.